students, parents, and members of the international education community. My name is Adele, and I am the managing consultant at CAM Study International. And I'm indeed privileged to moderate today's panel discussion as we celebrate the launch of GAIEC. Studying abroad obviously creates a lot of opportunities for international students. And as the opportunities increase, so do the complexities with admissions, visa requirements, immigration compliance, and unfortunately, cases of misinformation and fraudulent practices. I'm delighted to be joined by an esteemed panel of experts who will bring a wealth of experience and insight to today's conversation. And before we set the ball rolling, may I kindly ask each of you to briefly introduce yourselves.
All right, so my name is Dr. I'm the CEO of Talk Yesterday about Calls.
My name is Joyce Apia, Education Solutions Consult Editor.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Okui, CEO WR Education Investment Consultants, based in Kampala, Uganda. I come with greetings from Kampala, Uganda.
Thank you.
Once again, congratulations today for the wonderful launch. My brother Richard comes and Max for myself. Happy to be here and to be part of this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wagubi.
Thank you.
Right. So, why do you think this conversation, we're having a conversation on this topic, why the need to work with regulated agents now than ever? Why do you think this is such a crucial topic and how relevant it is in today's educational industry? Compared to 5, 10 years ago, we weren't even thinking of something like this. But now it's become such a crucial topic.
Thank you, moderator. It is very, very important today to work with screened certified agents globally. I have been in the industry for over 20 years, the information. And when I days when we were in the industry, and it was easy to get credibility from the parents and the educators and students. But now the industry has grown 20 plus years now gone. So basically, it is very, very important to look at accredited, recognized, certified agents partner. Reason being, the market is open. It's now a global village. You can go online, access any agent anywhere. But with certified agents, with regulated bodies that regulate and oversee them, it makes it easier to get value for money and also to have trust in the industry. Otherwise, now with so many agents actually that are not regulated by the bodies of different countries and associations, we used to call them the bogus agencies, bogus institutions, because there was no quality. But now, since the industry is much more so many agents, working with agents that are great makes it easier for you to get quality. Second, to get the right information. Otherwise, you may find yourself in the wrong market, the wrong information that can really create your problems. There are still cases in the industry where you find agents that are not accredited, whose interests are mainly to make money. And it becomes a problem for the industry, from the educator point of view, from the agency point of view, and also from the parents who are stakeholders in this industry. So identifying associations with accredited agents makes it easy for the parents that are stakeholders to get quality, to get the right information for their students and their existing quality education. So yes, getting the right certified agents makes the work easy because these are the fast information about the trends in the market. The trends keep changing every day. When you're a certified agent, you're trained in this, you learn, you get the right information on the immigration side of you from ICE and other bodies. So it makes a lot of sense today to identify or to work with agents that are accountable to the associations, to the government that are regulating them, and also to the parents. Thank you so much.
Right. Madam Joyce, maybe you keep that. One of the things that Mr. Wagumbi shared, I mean, he said a lot of things, and one of the things that really stood out to me was the fact that, uncertified agents have one objective, and is to make money. So picking up from that, what do you think are some of the biggest risks that students and parents stand to probably, if they work with uncertified or unregulated agents? What are some of the risks that they are likely to encounter? So if you can share a few with us, that'd be great.
Thank you very much, Adele. Already we have said that they are unaccredited, uncertified. It shows everything. If we are all getting products or anything for ourselves, we want the best. So in order for you to get best attention, best advice, best procedures, trusted hands, you need to work with certified agents. Otherwise, the risk, you fall into scam, you fall into fraudulent hands, you lose money, misinformation, incorrect visa processes, which may even lead you into trouble. Let's give an example. I had a student walk into the office. He had a first degree and had been advised to study abroad at a certain payment to Georgia. Georgia is a fine place. But then he did a 2-year undergraduate course. He had a first degree already. If he had had a good agent, perhaps he would have chosen a conversion course in computer science, for instance, because he wanted to do computer science. He had to go back and do an undergraduate course. So you go back, you lose money and time. A well-recognized agent will make sure, for instance, that after putting your visa application, at least you have a copy of your visa form. We accredited agents work together with students and parents so that at the end of the day, at any time you have to go back to the embassy, the same embassy, you have the information. If you work with an unaccredited agent, they can manufacture information. They can create you all again. And when it's time to put in another visa application, you don't know who you are. So please, let's go.
Fantastic. I like the fact that each of the panel, each of them is sharing personal experience. So before I jump even to the next question, Dr. Boache, I think Madam Joyce mentioned, she's stated some risk. Even there are some students also who use unaccredited agents, and I've also come across somebody who unfortunately had this supposed credible agents use fake documents to file an application, not just a school application, a visa application. So imagine the immigration risk that this particular student had to, go through. And the sad thing is, they did file the application and the student got banned. So the risk of losing your entire study opportunity is it's incredible, and the thought of it is scary. So over to you guys. Before I move on, Dr. Boache, how does the standard promoted by GAIEC help build trust and professionalism within the international education sector?
Yeah, so let me put it very straight. We have four core standards accountability, professionalism, honesty is very important. Although we are a group of agencies coming together, we do not need to throw away our transparency as well. These are core standards that we have and settled ourselves with to push the agenda of making sure that each and every student or parent that are coming to us are going to receive honest advice, transparency to know how the process is going, and also the professionalism that we bring on board. Everybody is sharing a story. Let me share some of the key things that GAIEC members are also doing. Since November to this year, or this month, I have seen most of our the agents or most of the consultants here traveling abroad, not just to seek opportunities for students, but also to make sure that as they travel, we get to know more about what have changed from the application process. Because each and everyone here that came to the podium, we've all been talking about standards. What has changed? What are the admission requirements? And you see that the Royal Travel, Camp Study, I saw you traveling. Ascolis went to universities. Daniel Globe also went to universities in the UK. I did travel with Dice Global, going to Malta. We were in Italy, going to different countries, looking for opportunities. What information do we need? We have core standards that we are promoting. If we are not being honest, if you are not being professional, if you are not being transparent, if you are not being accountable to our parents and students, what are we promoting as an organization? And this is why it's imperative for each and everyone here to understand that all the people sitting here in this organization, we have one or four core standards to you. We are being accountable, we are being transparent, we are being honest. And we want to ensure that at the end of the day, you choose people within these organizations to make sure that we are giving you the best of advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Could you pass it on to Madam Joyce? And to Madam Joyce, if you can hold on to that. Yes, and please hold on to that. And to what Dr. Boache said, we also do travel to go to universities that approach us to check to see if they are also credible. So that's also one thing that certified GAIEC members also do. They don't just sit and work with any university that approaches them. They always also think about your interest to make sure that the university is promising, and the promises are not just restricted to what is on their website and what is in their brochures, because every university has a beautiful brochure. But then when you go on campus to go check things for yourself, that is when you would know the real truth. And that is what we do as well, to ensure that we are guiding you guys properly and we're giving you nothing but the best. Madam Joyce, what would you say are some of the common misconceptions students have about study abroad that certified consultants can help to correct?
Okay. Misconceptions, they are not always facts. So what are the facts? A certified agent will do well to let you know the facts from the assumed. The first one I would mention is that all schools have scholarships that they give to students. So when you go to school, zero fees. There are scholarships, yes, but students meet a criteria in order to attain these scholarships. Again, it's a selection, so there is a way that it is done. And you have to understand, a certified agent will guide you to understand what you have to do in order to get a scholarship. That's why you see a lot of social media people saying there's scholarship here and there. You follow up and you get stuck. There's nothing. Because they may not be telling you the truth. Another misconception. People think once they go to school abroad, they can work to pay their fees. Hell no. No. You will suffer. You will really suffer. If you pay a lot of your fees, at least half or more, then maybe you can get a job that will many countries you have to prepare yourself for immigration interview. And for many of our young people who like using the word like, like, it's like. So if you say it's like, I mean, this what you are saying is not factual. It's not factual. You have to be confident and convinced about whatever you are saying and say it with confidence so that you are allowed into whichever country. Don't go looking down, feeling shy, not able to talk, and don't know what you are saying. It's terrible. Please. So if you are working with a good agent, that agent will tell you all these things I'm saying. They will prepare you for immigration interview, pre-departure briefing, how to live in the country you are going into, what to do, what not to do. You are fully armed, confident, even before you step into the country. There's so much I'd like to talk about. I don't know if Adele will still allow me, or I should give to
Yes,
somebody else.
yeah, just to double click on what you just said. The thing about you can go study abroad and pay your fees is something that I also get a lot. And one thing I tell students is that no, you can't. The whole idea of being able to do some work, okay, and the work is usually restricted, is just to give you an opportunity to improve your language, build your confidence, and help you integrate into your new environment. So it has nothing to do with you can go and work and pay your fees. Chances are, if you do that, you are going to breach your immigration requirements. So, no, a big no, you can't work to pay your fees. Make sure you have all your finances intact, and a good and a certified agent will give you that information. Well, let's move on, Mr. Robert. How can certification improve relationships between education consultants, institutions, embassies, and government agencies? Okay. All right. So I just wanted to say, how can certification, certified agents or regularizing the industry help improve relationship between educational consultants, institutions, embassies, and government agencies? How can all these bodies work together in sync to ensure that the populace is taken good care of and we are abiding by set rules and regulations within the education sector?
Thank you so much. You can imagine I'm only getting tough questions. I put a disclaimer. I will try this. Thank you so much. Yes, it is very, very important to work hand in hand because they are here. We have regulators, we have associations, we have agents, and regulators are main government bodies that oversee what agents do. Then we have the agents that have our own associations that also have what we call code of conduct and principles. So, can you carry on? Thank you. So it's very, very, very important to combine all these bodies together to see to it that we produce what we call the right information, and also see to it that all these bodies work hand in hand. As I said earlier, we have the regulators. These are the, for example, in my country, we have the Ministry of Education. They make sure that we follow the policies, the principles of our government in terms of what we call education policy. Then we have the association here that we do what we call the ethical principles when it comes to talking to career teachers, teaching to students for them to go and study abroad. We make sure that we have the right institutions. These institutions I talk about are the educators. These are the universities abroad. These are the colleges. These are the high schools that we send these students to for further studies. And it is very, very important that as an agent from Ghana, from Uganda, and other part of the world, we see to it that these universities or institutions are accredited or licensed by their bodies abroad. You may, for example, take a child to University of Massachusetts in the UK, and I'm from Uganda, but I have an parent from the parent who wants his son or daughter to go and study engineering at university. I have to be in a better position to know that, first of all, the university is licensed to deliver the program in the UK. Then second, I have to know that the program itself is accredited by the body in the UK that accredits these programs. Otherwise, if you don't get that right, you may find yourself in a very big problem. Because I've seen this happen before in my country, where agencies take students to universities. The universities are licensed, but the program is not accredited. It's not yet accredited by the body in that country to be delivered. So you end up in the university with a program which is not approved for delivery. This child comes back to Ghana or Uganda, and the program is not recognized. So it becomes a problem. So certification, accreditation is extremely important from the agent perspective to understand this information, especially working hand in hand with the universities, the regulators, and the agencies, so that there is value for money and there is right flow of information. So as an agent, it is very, very important to work hand in hand with the regulators and also the institutions, and also getting this information before you sign up with the regulators. Look at the programs. They have to prove to you that the programs, first of all, the university is accredited by the body of that country. Then the program, the university is licensed to deliver who operate in that country. Then the programs are accredited. So that by the time I finish my education and come up to Ghana or Uganda, my degree is legit.
Okay.
That is why working hand in hand is very, very important to follow all these policies. With agencies like ours and associations like ours, all these agents know what I'm talking about. So going through them makes it easier for the parent who is the stakeholder that whatever a child is getting out is value for money, and the programs and the universities are licensed. I hope I have tried to answer.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed, you have. Dr. Boachi, do you have a word or two to add to that?
I think what you said is really perfect. We all have responsibilities, and we are not doing what we are supposed to do. We must be feeding the students, giving them credible information is really key. Because we do not want the students to go in, come back, and then let's say the students spend 4 years. If they come back and the university is not accredited, what do? Do we send the students back another 4 years? Money spent, accommodation, feeding, traveling. It's too much. So we need to do a better job by ensuring that we are working with credible agents. As you mentioned earlier, we all travel. We make sure where the student is, what the university, the accreditation. Houston Tillotson University, Professor Emeritus is sitting right here. You can ask him, how many times have agents not visited the institution, making sure that students are attending a credible institution, having conversations with faculty members, staff to make sure that services that are provided for the students are okay and the students are doing well.
Sure. All right. I need you to hold on to the mic.
Okay.
So, with the increase in concerns, and I think we had a long conversation yesterday about this, the increase in concerns about visa refusals and immigration compliance, what do you think, or what role do certified consultants play in helping students to make an informed decision?
That goes all the way back to everything that we all have been talking about. it's not just getting the student the admission. If it's admission, every student can sit behind their
Yep.
computers, apply, and get admission. What else can we do to help and make sure that the student post studies? What can the students do? So it's a step-by-step process. Number one, the admission requirement is this student meets the admission requirement. Number two, we need to also check the financials. Can the student afford? We talked about people having the notion that they can work to pay their tuition fees. Number three, does this student qualify in terms of visa? Do you think when the student submit all these documents, what is the chance that the student can get? Now the student has been awarded or has been, the visa has been approved. Next step, going to the university or the college to study. Can this student get a job? Is this program the student going to pursue after school? Then what? As credible and certified agents, our job doesn't stop with just that application. Very short story. A student walked into my office with 6 A's and 2 B's. And the student came to me and said, yes, you have a really fantastic result. What do you want to study? And the student was like, computer science. I said, fantastic. But I want, when he presented the financials, I got to know that he will not be able to pay. So my best advice to the student is take the SAT test. Guess what? This student took the SAT test and had 1,520.
Fantastic.
What happened next was 2 institutions, Philander Smith, one, and also Mississippi State, and I think Grambling University, these 3 institutions, offered this student fully funded scholarship. Then the student wanted more. Now it's not about the tuition, what about the accommodation? Grambling threw in, your accommodation would also be covered, you get on-campus job. Again, agent is not only looking for your money, we look above and beyond that. We put ourselves in your shoes. If this was my brother, if this was my sister, what would I have done above and beyond this? And that is why we decided as a team that we need to provide this student with extra advice so that this student can get a fully funded scholarship. And he ended up going to Grambling, which covered his tuition fee for 4 years, his accommodation, job, and also free feeding for 4 years. But if I would have given him any advice, or I would have not gone above and beyond, I could have said, go to A or B university with no scholarship, thinking about myself, like honestly.
Fantastic. Okay. Mr. Wagubi is looking my way. I promise you this is going to be an easy question.
Thank you so much. I just want to make clear also to agents that we have to be very careful. Not all agents are visa counselors. It is very, very important as agents to work with regulated immigration consultants, especially for visa. You can't have it all as an agent. It's not right. Otherwise, you're misrepresenting the market industry. Unless you are licensed, that's when you talk about the visa issues, otherwise you'll be sold. It is very important to partner with them as an agent. That is their role. So that they give the right information. They know the checklist. Now that you can
Giving you one last one.
in other countries, they have
That would be Madam Joyce.
so it is important to partner so that we do the right work. Or else, take yourself to do the most, it like this, then you're mandating to talk about these processes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And Madam Joyce, could you answer the last question for us? If you pay attention on the internet these days, you have TikTok agents, you have YouTubers, everybody is an agent, with a flow of information. People can easily get any support anywhere as long as they go online. Why do you still think students and parents should engage the services of certified agents, although they can have or find all the information that they need online? And that's the last question for you.
Thank you. Online has a lot of information, but certified agents, experienced professional agents have more, better examples, better experiences, and they will tell you the truth. Some of the TikTokers or social media agencies have just gone abroad. They just experienced traveling or going abroad. Then all of a sudden they become experts. Some of us sitting here have been in this business for over 10 years, 5 years. We've seen all the changes from handwritten paperwork through to soft, filling forms online, and new regulations between 2025 and 2026. Immigration rules have changed. Yeah. We've seen a lot of people getting visas and others not getting visas. So we understand how you should put your things together from choosing your course to applying for a visa to make sure that you get what you want. So going on the internet, if it's a school or a recognized institution like other parts and the rest, going to their pages to see what you can do is fine. But getting somebody who has practical experience, who sees people and understands what is done in the space of immigration study abroad is the best thing to do. So I hope I've answered the question.
You have. Any last words from Mr. Wubi, Dr. Boachi? Any last words?
I think my last word is very simple. As agents here, we need to be regulators and also advocates. Food and Drug Board is not only the promoter of advocacy or to protect consumers, but we as advocates, we need to also protect the parents and students. We've done it, and GAIEC is here to do a good job, to protect you, to guide you, to take you through each step of the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for me, my last words would be studying abroad is a great and amazing opportunity, but trust me, it's not for everybody. So some people can get admission, but it's not everyone that can get a visa to study abroad. So thank you very much, and I hope this session has been insightful.